thank you, Jill and Andy from that side of the room. The rest of you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, so do I. Here we go.
1 in every 5 students in California public schools is an English learner. What that means is English is their second language. That means they could have grown up speaking Spanish, Tagalog, French, what have you. The reason I tell you this is because I went to school with a lot of kids like this. I went to school with kids who I would go up, playground, and say, "Hi, how's it going?" And they respond in, I still have no idea, but they did. And I want you to know this because in November, you'll be given power with your vote on November 8th. You'll be able to go in and vote. You'll be able to change these kids' lives, or people like these kids. Because today, I'm going to be talking to you about Proposition 58. And there's 3 key points that you're going to need to know when you go in to talk about it. Now, the first one is going to be what is Proposition 58, what it wants to do, its intent. And then, how is it going to affect other propositions, the older propositions, like Proposition 227. And lastly, what power it will hold when or if it gets passed. What will it do once it's there? So, first, let's talk about what it is. What's its intent? Now, what it wants to do is put bilingual education into public schools. It wants to teach kids in their native language and in English to help them stay on curve with their peers, together. Because you're growing up, you want to be with everyone. You want to be as smart as the next guy. Now, according to the California Legislative Bureau, a 75-year veteran of analyzing California legislation and financial information, in a 2016 post on the California Legislative Analysis Board website, said that the languages offered in this will be basically anything that will help the kid. They said, first off, they will roll out languages in Spanish, French, and Korean. And now that you know that, what it wants to do, let's talk about how it's going to affect the older propositions. Now, mainly, this is going to affect Proposition 227, its forerunner. This proposition was passed in the 1990s, and basically what it did was put a ban on bilingual education in public schools. It put this brick wall, a lot of red tape, a lot of legal talk to say, if you're going to learn in California, you're learning in English. Good luck. And according to Madeline Will, a 30-year veteran of student rights and the vice president of the National Down Syndrome Board, in a 2016 article said, Proposition 227 is totally and completely obsolete in modern California. Now, why did she say that? Well, I mentioned 1 in 5 students, they are English learners. Now, what that translates to in real people numbers is 1.4 million students in California are English learners. What 1.4 million is higher than the population of Wyoming. You could start your own state with them. And just hearing that kind of rattles the brain. But I digress. Now, if this is passed, what will it do? That brings me to my next point, the power of this proposition. If it's passed, how will it affect the schools as soon as it's passed? Now, how it's going to affect, first of all, is put bilingual classes right away. It'll give the kids the chance to learn in their own language and in English to hopefully keep them on track and up to par with the rest of their peers. And this isn't going to be the sole decision of, the big school district, the Board of Education, being like, okay, we're only going to offer it to this class in Whittier, that class in Orange County. No, this power will be given to the schools themselves. If they say, the test scores for these kids are a little low, they were an English learner in the past, maybe if we taught them in their own language, they would do better. So they will, with obviously the parents' participation, ask to put them in the class, with a bilingual education and see if they do better. Now, you might be thinking, well, will the kids just not have to learn English then? No, they will. They'll still have to take 1 year of English learning, but taking a crash course in a language sometimes isn't the best option. I'm not lying, I took 2 years of French and I know about this much. Now that I've talked to you about these things, I want to sort of wrap things up a little bit. Remind you what I talked about. I talked to you about Proposition 58. I talked to you about what Proposition 58 wants to do, what's its intent, and how Proposition 58 will affect Proposition 227, its forerunner, its preceder. And I talked about its power, when it's going to get passed, what's it's actually going to do. And now that you know that, I hope when you go in to vote in November, you will know the power you have to affect the lives of these 1.4 million kids, the 1 in 5 kids. You've probably been in class with them, you know them, and you will have the power to affect their lives, to affect their kids' lives, to affect maybe the life of a kid you don't even know. But I just want you to remember a few things we talked about today.